If I can change just one line in your web token, I might become admin in your system. And many real applications are vulnerable to exact that. In the next 6 minutes, I will show you the authentication mistakes hackers exploit every day and how to fix them. And well, now one of the valid questions: why authentication is the prime target for the hackers? Imagine, authentication is like a front door of your system. If attackers break it, they don't need to hack anything else. Authentication is a trust boundary that establishes a user's identity and issues credentials such as sessions or tokens. And if this mechanism is compromised, attackers can obtain valid authentication artifacts and operate as a real valid users within the system. With a valid identity, security controls often treat the request as a trusted, enabling usage in the system. When authentication fails, everything fails. Well, let me explain you much more precise. One common problem in authentication system is weak security around passwords. Many applications allow simple passwords, don't limit login attempts, or they don't lock accounts after multiple failed tries. And exactly this makes attacks like brute force or credential stuffing very effective. In brute force attacks, hackers try many password combinations automatically. And in credential stuffing, they use leaked passwords from the previous data and test them against your system. Because many users reuse passwords, that works much more often than you think. To prevent this, you should always hash passwords using strong algorithms like bcrypt or argon2. Or another option, you should implement rate limiting to slow down repeated login attempts. You should also lock your accounts after too many failed attempts, or much more importantly, enable multi-factor authentication. And remember, never store plain text passwords, ever. And let us jump to the most important part. When working with the web tokens, developers often make simple but dangerous mistakes. Sometimes they use a big secret key. Sometimes they even don't properly verify the token signature. And in some cases, they even accept the non-algorithm, which removes the signature completely. And if this happens, a hacker can modify the token. For example, here they can change the role from user to admin. If the server does not verify the token correctly, the hacker can suddenly have the admin access.
Let me explain you what the web token is. For this, we go to the web page and can choose the algorithm, which is public and private key for encrypting and sending the tokens. Here actually you see the example for the web token. The web token is divided into 3 sections. You can recognize this through the dot. And there are finally 3 sections. And in the middle section, there are finally the data, which is transferred into the web token. And before the data section, you see the header of the web token. And the last part is finally the signature of the web token. Important here, this on the left side is encoded part of the JSON. On the right side, you see the decoded part of the JSON file. So when you decode this string, random string, you will receive this information which was decoded. If you take the middle part and decode this into the base 64 decoding, you will receive the information what you see on the screen. This is JSON, and as you see, if the hacker is able to manipulate the payload, he is able to manipulate the token
access. How to prevent this? Always verify the token signature. Use a strong and unpredictable secret key. Set a short expiration time for tokens and explicitly validate the allowed algorithm. Web token is secure, but only if it is implemented correctly. Now let us talk about the hijacking. Session hijacking happens when an attacker steals a valid session. This can happen through cross-site scripting, where the malicious JavaScript steals the session cookie. If it also can happen, the session ID is exposed in the URL, or if the application does not use HTTPS. Once the attackers have the session ID, they don't need the password. They already logged into the user account. How to prevent this? Use HTTPS cookies so JavaScript cannot access them. Use a secure flag so cookies are only set over HTTPS and always enforce HTTPS. And regenerate the session ID after login again. Now let us look at IDOR, Insecure Direct Object Reference. Imagine this API endpoint /API/user/123, and if user changes the number to 124 and the server doesn't check ownership, they might see another user data. That's called data leak. To prevent this, always validate authorization on the server side and never trust IDs coming from the client. Another common mistake is missing backend authorization. Sometimes the frontend hides the admin button so normal users cannot see it, but the backend never checks the user's role. An attacker can simply call the API directly without using the frontend. And if the server does not verify permissions, the attacker can access admin functions. Always remember, front-end security is not real security, only backend checks truly protect your system. Now, let's quickly talk about how to design secure authentication. Here is a simple checklist. Use multi-factor authentication. Hash passwords with strong algorithms. Apply red limiting to the stop automated attacks. Always validate tokens on every request and enforce proper role-based authorization. And log suspicious login activity, of course. Authentication vulnerabilities are usually not complex. They happen only because of the small implementation mistakes. If you secure your authentication properly, you protect your entire system. If you want a deep dive on web token attacks, comment PVT and subscribe for bi-weekly security and system design breakdowns.